Alright, what's up guys? We are back with another video. Today we'll be going over all of last week's trades, starting from Sunday up until Friday. So yeah, let's get right into this. So we're gonna go over our first trade, which was on Sunday at Asia session. We saw that price was pumping up, right? We have this trend up. We're expecting bullish for value gaps and disrespecting bearish, and we had this gap right here that I was interested in filling, um, or catching some kind of move up to it. So what we have is we have a tap into this fit. I believe what is this? Is it a 5 minute? Yeah, this 5 minute. We have a tap into this 5 minute fair value gap, and jeez. Alright, so we got to tap into that 5 minute fair value gap right here. And then we get this 3 minute inverse, which is the highest time frame inverse. And then we enter, I believe we wait for the next candle, we get a little bit of a retracement, we enter in right there. And then we, this TP1 got hit into profits here, but we trailed our stop. So I do think we got stopped out of it right there. Honestly, I mean, the reason for, I was looking for to fill the whole gap. So that's why we kept our TP1 right there. But nonetheless, that was still a win. So, pretty good win to start off the week. And yeah, let's go to the next day's trade. Fast forward this. Then we have this trade right here, which is okay. Yeah, I remember this trade. This I don't know why. We looked at New York. We didn't find any entries for New York, but we were just looking at the market the whole day. I think we was at the DMV this day, and I think the initial trade idea was that we tapped into probably 15 minute. Yeah, just 15 minute. Yeah. So we tapped into this 15 minute up here. So I was expecting we're chasing back down to this 15 minute. But that is not what we get, right? We have this, and this 1 minute gets inversed. We enter, we market order here, and we had our stops here. We got edged at our stop. Really, after I saw that, the fair value gap here was disrespected, and we formed a bullish inverse fair value gap, and disrespecting is bearish. I was already wanting to get out the trade, but I was like, I've already accepted the risk, and even though this was a subpar trade because we weren't really reacting off anything. This 15 minutes is pretty far away for it to really matter. So, and it was going against the trend as well because the trend was upwards. But we do take this trade, and sorry guys, sorry, I just sneezed it. But yeah, we do take this, and it goes up here. Thought it was already gonna be stopped out, but we did it. We come back down, and I closed right around break even here. I think actually once we got into profit, I just put my stops back to break even, and then we got stopped at break even. Right? I mean, because I didn't like the trade idea. I didn't think it was valid anymore, and now in retrospect, I don't think it was valid to begin with. Right? So that was that trade. I mean, because this is also lunch session. This is not a good time to be trading this chop. Right? But it is what it is. It was a break-even trade. All right, so our next trade. Alright, so as you can see here, we have been breaking down from here, and we're trending lower, right? But wanted to take longs here for some reason, right? Now this session we did manipulate upwards. I think we tapped into this 5 minute. So let's see that we're still respecting this 5 minute. That we sweep this low inside the 5 minute. The idea behind it was that we sweep a low inside of a 5 minute, or inside of any fair value gap. For this example, it was a 5 minute, and then we can get an inverse out of there, and then target highs from there. But so we sweep it, right here. We sweep it again, and then we create this fair value gap here, and this is a 2 minute. We create a 2 minute fair value gap that gets inversed. Here I like this close, because it was a good close, so I was like, I'm still willing to stab at it. But now looking in retrospect, once a fair value gap has been just traded into, chopped into, and filled and come back up, it's probably not too valid. If anything, this was maybe the trade here. I could have taken this 2 minute, because that was the first time it filled it, and it kind of already delivered right to where it needed to go. And that's why price reacted off of that, which wasn't really anything. Yeah. Well, that's that. So we do enter on this. Let's see, we're still respecting here, so I'm still for the trade idea. We start trending lower, we're still respecting it. And we disrespected it one candle and stop us out in the same candle. Right, so that is that trade. So that was a loss. So like I'm okay now. Like we got the bias wrong. So finally we get a 5 minute. Right, we can open up this 5 minute right here. So I'm looking for a 1 minute retracement to that. Once we form that 5 minute. And here we get that retracement. We respect that consequent encroachment of the fair value gap, and we're constantly just closing below this midline, and then we get this 2 minute. Right, so we get this 2 minute inverse. Excuse me. We get this 2 minute inverse that we have here from this 5 minute fair value gap, and let me see. Yep. I do think we waited, maybe, I think next candle. I don't know what I'm talking about. Yeah, we entered right off this inverse, I believe. And then we targeted, we TP1 right here, and then our TP2 was down here. It really should have been like down here, but once we saw, just the main thing about us is that we're seeing profits up, and we want to close it out just to be safe. But we're also not. We're trading more, still emotional, right? As far as P&L, because we are not taking price at a place that we should. We're taking profits at a place that we should, instead of just emotionally taking profits. Right? Because that's what I feel like this was. This TP1, I liked it because we was up some amount of money. So and there was this fair value gap here, inverse fair value gap. So sometimes price doesn't respect those inverse fair value gaps. But I took profits here once I saw, I think it was up a 1-1. Probably close to 1-1. And I believe we moved to break even as well there. So yeah, this goes to full TP, which would have been out here, but we took out right here. But yep, pretty good trade. That one's better, goes with the trend. Respect this 5 minute. Yeah, highest time frame version, which was a 2 minute. Then delivered down to this is probably 15 minute. And you could even held to those lows as well. Nah, you would have got chopped. Yeah, you would have got chopped. Oh, no. Yeah, no, you would have got chopped. But holding to that inverse, to that fair value gap was, let's say, or just 1 hour. I believe the 1 hour was actually. See, I'm not Places right here. I think we had initially 1 hour and we just edged it. But if we would have held on and kept our stops there, then probably got messed up there. But overall, not a bad trade. I still like it. Good trade. No, in the end, it was a win. So let's go to the next day's trade, or next trade, whatever next trade is. This looks like it's down there. No. This looks like an AM trade, New York AM trade. So we have this 5 minute here. Now there's multiple reasons. I believe this was maybe a break even, but I believe first we did disrespect that initial 5 minute. Oh no, we're bugging. Hey, give it a little chance. Here it goes. Hopefully. Yeah, so this right here, we disrespected this 5 minute, which wasn't something I wanted to see. But again, because we were anxious to take a trade, we did take this suboptimal trade, which thankfully played out to break even. But, as we'll see here, we're respecting the consequent encroachment of that. And then, yeah, we get this nice volume candle, inverse. We enter into the next candle with a little bit of retracement. And then I think we put our break even at this low. Once I saw price just kept on just waking up, we put at this low, just because I didn't think that we would, I would feel like we would at least sweep these out before reversing, but we just put it there, just because it could have reversed on us right there, in which it ultimately does. Yep. So we got souped here. Like I said, the only thing I see why this trade did not play out was because we disrespected that initial 5 minute right here. So if we were truly bearish, we wouldn't be disrespecting bearish order flow. We would be respecting bearish order flow. And I was seeing we wasn't really forming any fair value gaps on the way. It was just really wicky. Which I think everybody that trades inversions says that wiki price action isn't the kind of price action you want to have. So that is that trade. Now let's go for our next trade, which was right over here. This is a New York PM session trade. Boom. So this, so we had to tap into this 15 minute. We were looking pretty bullish, so we had to tap into this 15 minute. We saw these lows inside that 15 minute. And then we get some inversions on the way up, but we had already tapped into that 5 minute, so the 5 minute was the highest time frame inversion that we had. And, but since I was just so scared of getting, a loss or emotional, I think I literally went break even here like a dumbass, right? We went break even there, and then we got stopped out. I mean, I think within a few seconds. But this trade would have played out. Show him. It would have played out to, I don't even think we had it there. We had it at the, what was it? I think it was this. Yeah. Could have got that at 1-1. Still made it happen. But we lost it.
Well, we broke even. Like I said, we went break even super early for some reason. But yeah, this next trade, I believe. Let's see, what is this inversion? 2 minute. Okay, so I was looking at, we were still inside of this 4 hour fair value gap. I think we had seen that we were still in that 4 hour fair value gap. So once we see that this, I was like, shorts could be a move. It's because it's still pretty valid. You know, we're creating this we're entering this liquidity. We took out all this low resistance right here. So now what we would have is, you know, you tap back into this 15 minute if we're, you know, truly bullish, or just sweep out this low until that 15 minute. So we were trying to target something on the way down. Um, which okay, I think we waited after this 3 minute got inverse. We waited to see if we could get a retracement, and we market ordered, and we yeah, TP down here. But it looks like you could have TP'd, like I said, could have TP'd inside of this yeah, the low of that fair value gap, which would have been a like a 3-1. I think if we had probably, if we would have gotten right here, it would have been probably like a 1-1 that would have played out. It was some drawdown, but we yeah, limit, or I think we actually limit ordered that, and we won that trade. So on to the next. All right. So then on this one, this is a is a session trade that we had. Where did it go? Usually delete that, or like we can replace it. Alright, I guess we gotta replace this. Sorry, I thought I placed this. But we evidently did not. I actually think we placed it this low. Alright, so on this one, we got this tap back into this 1 hour, which was, yeah, unfilled, untapped. We tapped into it. And then we get the highest time frame inversion, which is a 5 minute. As you can see here, this plays out beautifully. I think, yeah, no ticks in drawdown. Played out beautifully. You know, it was up. So yeah, let's go to the next trade. This trade, we sweep below inside of that 1 hour, so it's like, okay, maybe we can, you know, shoot back up again. And the highest one I had seen on this was that 50 minute, but that 50 minute was just so weird because we barely closed out of it. So I didn't really like it too much, but I think we front ran it, and we did end up inversing it, but I think at the time we wasn't yet inversing it. So we just went break even up here. Again, an emotional break even, but also a trade we should not take as well, because this isn't a very optimal trade just to wait for the 15 minute. We have seen the 15 minutes either take a super long time to play out, or they just don't play out at all, right? But I think the bias was correct here. Because maybe you could even taken this, this 1 minute up here. Yeah, this 1 minute looks nice. You could have taken that 1 minute, ride that up to whatever high. So yeah. I believe this is also maybe a follow trade. Yeah, as you can see, there's a pattern in either the break-even trades or the boosting trades. And we'll see in just a minute that they're emotional trades. Right? We're forcing these trades. We're not really letting these trades present themselves. They're more looking for those trades to play out. All right. That's the next day's trade, which is an AM session trade, right? Yeah, AM. So on this, if you look at this structure right here, it still looks pretty bullish, but we were looking for shorts here, right? I think, what was it that we were seeing? That's 4 hour. Yeah, so we're tapping into this 4 hour fair value gap. So as 10 came about, I thought we was gonna manipulate above, which it looked like we did. Right, and then we get this 1 minute inverse, which was the highest time frame, and yeah, we get stopped out pretty much instantly, and then we inverse this. Really, I should have seen here. After we inverse this, it's probably not bad no more. Then we inverse that fair value gap that was inside of an inverse fair value gap. But yeah, see, price would just pretty much continue chopping upwards. Oh, sorry guys. Alright, so 4 hour again. Tapped into it. And we get that 1 minute inverse. Now the only thing I could probably say that was probably wrong as well, I don't know. I mean, I would probably still take this trade, but the only thing was that we didn't close with, nicely. I would like to see a V-shape reversal, right? We didn't see that. We just saw, tap into it, we trade out of it, and then we trade back down, and then we inverse, and then we go up from there. But not a very good trade. But it might be like the idea, but still a decent idea, I believe. And then this one, I believe, was a FOMO trade for some reason. We get this inverse here. So we market order right at the top of this. I think we saw this for value gap form. We market ordered here. And put our stops up there. Again, I don't know why we're looking for shorts. This is also another 4 hour fair value gap that we tapped into, but after seeing that we're severely disrespecting this fair value gap, it might be, there's a chance that we might disrespect this fair value gap as well, since it was another fair value gap above it. But so this we not market ordered, we limit ordered here, so we got filled, and then we just get stopped, right? Yeah, we pretty much just chop from there. I mean, it's just been chop, chop, chop. After AM session, we had that push in the AM session. We pretty much just chop from there. Alright, so then we had this. Just like this. Okay, yeah, so we had this 5 minute. I don't know why we didn't mark this on. Fuck it. Alright, so we got this 5-minute inverse right there. And you can see here, we entered right here after this candle. We like the close of this. It says V-shape. It's a decent V-shape, although I didn't like these wicks. We did place our stops down here at this wick. Because we had seen nothing in this other trade at lunchtime that we took. We didn't get stopped out because we placed at the wick, not at the body. Because if we were placed at the body, we would have got stopped out here. With this is also tapping into. This taps into that 1 hour, and it respects the the trend that we're in. So it taps into that 1 hour fair value gap. And the highest time frame inversion that we had was at 5-minute. It was the cleanest one I was looking. So we get this tap here, boom, and we get an inverse, and we TP and break even at this 15-minute. And I think we get break even here. So it was a win still. So we took partials with that 5-minute and 15-minute. Yeah. So let's go to our next trade, which looks like it's an AM, no, PM session. This is Thursday's PM session, the last row trade we took. I believe it's probably a 3-minute. Yeah, so this is the highest time frame inversion we had here, which was a 3-minute. This inversion. Now, the reason we didn't like this and why this didn't play out was because of this low resistance liquidity up here. Sure, we were inside that 15-minute, but for it to be a good move down, we would have to at least sweep up that high inside of that fair value gap. But we did it, right? So really just took this just because we were FOMO, right? And again, not a V shape. We tapped into it and then traded out of it and then inversed it. But I mean, still here, we could have probably taken either partials here or put stops at break even, and it would have been a loss. But shoots up and stops us out right there. And I think we need those. Yeah, we probably sleep on those lows there. But yeah, that's pretty much the main thing, right? We were living all this low resistance right here. So it's just a matter of time until price came back up and did it stay with that. Yeah, but you could have even taken the inverse off of this. Probably it's there. Like 1 minute. But yeah, that is pretty much it for all the trades of this week. Now, overall, I think we were down pretty bad because on the ones that we actually lost, we, just by chance, when we start risking more, we get a little bit less careless with the trades. When we start risking less, a little bit more selective about the trades that we take. And so that's the reason we were down a very good amount. I mean, we were probably, I think, $300 away from blowing the accounts. So what we did, instead we full boarded NFP, and now we have a super fat buffer on the accounts, but also we got a long way to reach for the consistent rule for Apex, and we also added another Lucid account. So yeah, so that is it for this trade recap. We'll be back probably next week. I like doing like end of the week breakdowns a little bit better than doing daily breakdowns, and I can get to it a little bit faster. I can dedicate Saturdays to it. But yeah, that is pretty much it. I do appreciate you guys for watching, and see you in the next video.